Now, the power of self-focused discipline. Sometimes this is self-generated. Other times, the people around you, your environment, they force or enforce their plan on you. Another thing is people tend to associate discipline with huge tasks, such as working long hours in the office, being the first to get there, being the last to leave, spending a lot of hours on the practice court, reading tons of books, losing weight for a movie role, or just losing weight in general. People tend to associate discipline with all these big things. Well, that's easy to see because that's what gets talked about. But discipline, how does discipline start? Discipline starts with small things, smaller things, very little things that you can sometimes you can imagine day to day. For instance, simple thing as getting off your bed, 6 o'clock in the morning instead of 7. Yeah, just getting up 1 hour earlier every day, or even half an hour earlier every day. Do you know how hard it is to get up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning compared to getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning? Just that half an hour every day. Because if you've programmed your mind to get up at 6 every day, then it sees getting up at 5:30 as such a huge, huge task. Your mind tries to make every single excuse for you to not get up by 5. Just half an hour difference makes such a massive difference in a year. And the reward of getting up half an hour every day might not make a huge difference just today or tomorrow or next week or next month. But when you put that together in a year, the reward becomes a fortune of half an hour every single day. The reward in the future becomes a fortune. Take, for example, for those who read 15 minutes every day, just as is recommended, so, or 15 minutes, 5 days a week. You don't even have to do it on the weekends. 5 days a week, reading 15 minutes. That equates to you reading 2 books a month. So that's basically you're reading almost 24 books in a year. Just imagine that. Just half an hour every day. Can you see the difference now? But when you read half an hour every day, it doesn't make that much difference. But when you can read 24 books in a year, tell someone who can read 24 books in 1 year, you can see what difference that makes. And this same thing can be applied to every other field, every other aspect, every other thing in your life. Even just to wake up and pray half an hour each day, prepare your plan, have a list. Imagine what that does for you at the end of the year. So every single day you have a list, you have an intention set before you start your day. Imagine how your day is going to be turning out, because you're not just running from helter skelter, you're going from A to B. Pre-planned day. You become like an architect of your own life. You know what goes before what. You become like an engineer. You know what to be placed on the foundation. You know how much weight a pillar can bear. That's what giving yourself that. That's what discipline is. Some of the discipline starts very small. Just as the choice not to discipline yourself starts very small as well. No one starts from zero and starts smoking 100 packs of cigarettes a day. No, you start from one. No one start from zero and start consuming all the alcohol, all the drugs that they know. You start gradually. So the power to do is always side by side with the power not to do. The power to discipline yourself goes side by side with the power not to discipline yourself. So it's just you make the choice. So just as there's some people are very disciplined at doing things to make them better, some people are equally very disciplined at not doing things to improve their life. They're very disciplined at being in the comfort zone. They're very disciplined at sleeping till 12, 11. They're very disciplined at complaining. They're very disciplined at blaming others. They're very disciplined at blaming the environment. So just as you are very disciplined at focusing on yourself, growing yourself, other people too are there very disciplined, but in the opposite way. Now they look for external everything about them It's external. Nothing is the problem. Nothing. Everything that happens in their life is as a result of an external force. They refuse to look inward, and which is the only place you can change. They say change yourself, change your world. This is easy to see. When you get some qualification, you're able to get a better job and a better salary. By changing yourself, you change your environment. It's not the other way around. It's easy not to read. It's easy not to get out of bed in time. Anyway, only those who have plan for the day are eager to get out of bed to get to their plan, to accomplish their goal. Regardless, sometimes, regardless if you like it or not, you have to get out of bed and go to work. So that's the thing. Sometimes discipline comes, you know you have to do it, then you push yourself. That's the discipline. Knowing to push yourself, regardless. Just as it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. It's easy to spend your time watching TV, scrolling on your phone, watching comedy skits, watching Big Brother, doing everything that's very unproductive in your life. Some people would say, after all, I have worked 8 hours, you know, I just came back from work. Man, if you work where I work, all the long hours, all the traffic, all the rain, my horrible boss, if you work where I work, you would never come home and start trying to develop yourself, trying to grow yourself, trying to become something else. And they say, well, after all, I've worked 8 hours today for my boss, for my company. I deserve to relax. I deserve to rest. I deserve to spend the next 8 hours watching TV, watching Big Brother, watching comedy skit. Yeah, I deserve that. I deserve to fold my hands and sleep. I have worked hard. Well, that is fine and good. Since you've decided to spend your time, you've chosen to spend the rest of your life being part of your boss's plan, another person's plan. They make the plan and you fit in it. So that's fine, since you decided to do just enough. Obviously, you must have been prepared to remain in that same position for the rest of your life, or to change job from job, doing exactly just enough. Because that boss, every other person you envy, they are doing more than they paid for. They work in the same hours you, in the same place, the same traffic, the same life problem, but they find time to invest in themselves, time to learn something new, time to develop yourself, time to grow, time to study, time to read. They say if you don't make plans for your life, you fit into another person's life. That's simple. So you've been doing the same thing for the past 10 years. Why? Because you're part of another person's plan. You're like a tool in a toolbox, there to contribute to the bigger man. Why? Because you've decided not to make plans for yourself. Therefore, you must fulfill a purpose. That's what you are here for. You have to pay your bills. So therefore, you must fit in someone else's plan. And I get this. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. Not everyone can have their business. Yes, I hear you say that. Yeah, why that is true. Not everyone can be a business owner or an entrepreneur. But the thing is, are you comfortable being where you are, earning what you earning, living in the same house you've been living, driving the same car you've been driving, your kids going to that same school, your parent living in that same house, or your grandparent living in that same dilapidated house that you grew out of? Are you comfortable being in that place? Is that fine for you? Is that okay for you? If that's fine for you and okay, you're very comfortable, then that's good. You might as well fold your hands and become part of someone else's plan. That's okay. They say, for he who does not plan to change, if you don't change yourself, nothing changes. And they say, the worst thing that's greater than change is the failure to change. The worst thing that's greater than the change that's going to come is the failure for you not to change yourself. They say getting opportunity is not the thing. If you're not prepared for opportunity, that opportunity will make a mockery of you. When it comes, you'll not be able to handle it. So you have to constantly revamp yourself. And maybe you're one of those who complain and argue and spread rumors and about how some people are earning. You don't like where you are. You don't like what you earn. You want to earn more. You like your boss's position, your boss's salary, his benefit, his his car allowance, his fuel allowance, his phone allowance, his corner office, the view, or maybe it's that she's long in your boss's office you don't like, where he has an afternoon nap when he thinks about new ideas that's kept him in that office. Whatever it is you don't like, whatever it is that catches your eye, whatever it is that makes your eye water, maybe when you happen to see or understand how much your boss earn, what you have to understand is that your boss, whoever it is you envy, they haven't gotten to that position just by working 8 hours a day, going home and watching Big Brother, going home and scrolling through all the social media of other people who are creating content, going home and just sleeping. No, they haven't gotten to that place just by doing 8 hours a day. Yeah, they've gone through the same traffic as you, the same obstacles, the same up and down, but they've gone home and they're trying to invest time in themselves to become better than they were today, to grow, to learn something new. Even if it's just in their job, they have learned to do more than they paid for, give more than they have been asked to. They have started to do something before they ask to do it. If you in a job where you're told what to do everything, then you're just like another person. You can easily be replaced. But if you're in a job where you ask why, you come up with an idea, you ask why are we like this, why can't we change, why can't we do it this way, then you are saying I am ready for a more harder task. So you have to be in a position where you can ask why, because they say if you don't ask why, people will ask why you. The discipline to have a plan of how to attain intention before, after work, whatever, on the weekend. This is discipline. For now, the reward might not be momentarily, but it's in the future. But for you who are focused to earn, to enjoy now, of course, the gratification comes immediately, because the minute you're watching Big Brother, maybe you're relaxing, comedy skit, you're laughing, you get that reward immediately. But the reward of discipline comes, it's more magnificent, but it comes in the future. It comes gradually. It doesn't happen in one go. But whatever you consume, whatever TV, whatever program you consume, it is momentarily. You cannot benefit from it in the future. It is now and it's gone. The price of now and the price of later, we have to pay one or the other. You have the power to decide which one. Don't get me wrong, it's easy to scrape by just by doing enough. Yeah, it's easy just by doing enough than it is to do it all, to go the distance, go the distance. No one climbs the ladder of success just by doing enough. It's never done. Or climb the ladder of success on another person's back, or climbing the ladder of success with their hand behind their back. It is never done. I have a lot of people who are here from, or who I speak to. When you speak to them, the first thing you hear is, yes, but I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. It's always easy to be trying to do something. Of course, it's always easier to be trying to do something than it is to be doing the thing. Trying will always be easier because you're in the process, you're on your way. That's I'm always trying, you on your way. That's I'm all trying, because you feel when you say I'm trying, people are like, oh, don't worry. That's just say, don't bother me. Don't bother me. I'm trying. It's always easier to be trying than it is to be doing. They are two different things. So when you say you're trying what? Trying is different from doing. The thing with trying, it has no destination. Trying has no destination. You just keep trying. What if you keep trying and you try too much that you've given up too early? Maybe what you were meant to be doing is just around the corner and you spend the rest of your life trying. If you have been going the distance, you've been putting in the work, why stop? Don't be trying, be doing. Continue doing. The result will come. The result will come. Just like a child. A child never stops from trying to walk. They fall down multiple times, but then they learn from falling. They learn how to fall, so they don't hurt themselves or injure themselves. They learn how to fall, how to balance themselves, so they could pick themselves up, stand up again, and keep trying. That is the child. You have to try and think like a child when it comes to doing. You have to think like a child when it comes to doing. A child never sits down, folds his legs, says he's trying. No, it gets up and starts doing it. It falls down, it stands up again, and continue to do. Think like a child. The thing that separates us from the animal is the power of choice. The power of choice. Just like animals go with the power of instinct, we have the power of choice. Just as you have the power to do, you actually have the power not to do. Side by side. The power of choice says, get out of bed, it's 6 o'clock. The power of same choice says, no, press the snooze button. The same power, the same level. One is telling you do, one is saying don't do. The power of choice says, make your bed. The same power of choice says, no, just leave it. You're rushing, you're late, you overslept. The power of choice says, come on, put your hand up and speak up. The same power of choice says, no, leave it for next time, man. Leave it. These people are too smarter, and these people are too smart for you. You don't belong in this field. Why ask a question? The same power of choice. So I know this might seem minute, smaller things, but this is how it starts. When you start letting go in one area, you're likely to drive that power into your brain into another area. When you start running from challenges, your brain gets used to giving up. That becomes your habit. First, you create the habit, and now the habit controls you. Life is always a balance between do and don't do. Momentary reward and future significant reward. Life always has that balance. The balance to watch some TV and get gratification from it now, and the power to close your TV, study, learn something, and get the glory later. That balance is always there. Do and don't do. The thing with the don't do life is it comes with easy, comfortable, momentary reward. And another great thing about this don't do life, it comes with great and immediate reward. Immediate, you get it immediate, instantly. The minute you're watching something, you spend it, it's there instantly. The minute you refuse to go and learn something instead of because you have study for Saturday and Sunday, you decide to go and party all Friday night. It's instant. The reward is instant. The power not to do comes with a big shiny instant reward. The minute you decide not to study, not to read, not to learn, whatever you push yourself into, maybe you sleep more, you get that instant reward. This is a small thing like an extra hour in bed every morning, watching Big Brother or that comedy skit, partying every weekend instead of taking some weekly or monthly certification. Do you remember sometimes when you get so tired, you wish someone could pick you up, carry you into the bathroom, shower you, and put you back in bed? Those are the power that comes with choice not to do. The power of not to do. Somehow, the 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 easiest things in life are the least profitable. The easiest thing in life are the least profitable in our life. That is because for you to have anything great in your life, you need to put in the work. You need to put in the work, like walk and pray. For anything significant to happen in your life, you need to put in the work. And that's where the power of do comes in, the power of discipline. And it comes with its own reward, which is far more reaching and significant reward. But the only problem with this, it's not momentary. The price of doing it's not momentary. But you have to realize the price of doing it's way cheaper than the price of not doing. They say the only certain thing in life, just like taxes and debt, is that we must pay one or the other price. Is it that we pay the price for not doing it, which is very, very expensive, or we pay the price for doing, which is nothing, and a future reward. Another thing that's associated with the price of not doing it, regret. Sorrowful word. I wish I had learned this when my mates were learning it. I wish I had made the effort to stay in school. I wish I had made the effort to learn new skill. Wish I have controlled my emotion that not to be fired from that job. I wish I've paid the price. These are all the price of not doing. Very costly. The price of not doing is very costly. The price of doing would only cost you pennies, but the price of not doing will cost you a lifetime. That's the thing. They say the power of regret, the power of not doing has killed more people than suicide. Has killed more people than accidents. When people live in regret, they tend to commit suicide. They tend to jump off the bridge. They say most people have died from what they were not able to put out. Their dreams, their goal, the desire inside them that they haven't been able to put that out, express that to the world. Regret. Most people have died from that. That most people have died from what they've put inside them, like all sort of food, drugs, and whatever. Most people have died from what they couldn't get out. So that's the power of regret. It is very, very painful, and it consumes a lot of people. Why? Because they've neglected every single day, and now it's built up from 1 day to 1 week to 1 month, 1 month to 1 year, and now you have become that person, and others see you as well a failure. Why? Because you've refused to invest in yourself when others were investing in themselves. You decided to focus all your time to be scrolling, watching, gossiping, and not focusing on building yourself. The power of regret.